I'm sure you've seen it already, Canada. This bullshit. It's getting harder. Harder and harder to fucking even cover this shit because it's so... I consider it so, like... Even growing up my whole life, I was never one that wanted to dig into fucking stupid bullshit. And when people are just talking about each other or mindless bullshit, it's like, yeah, I don't usually care much for that. And usually I have to take a big, deep breath and swallow my fucking pride to even fucking want to dig into this shit. But I'll do it because some of you just seemingly fucking revel and live for this shit. But here you go. Global news. You've seen it all on your media. Harper says Canadians don't want marijuana legalized. I don't know where the fuck they come up with this shit, really. I really fucking don't. On Tuesday, Harper announced a 3-step plan to strengthen the government's anti-drug strategy should the Conservatives be re-elected. Stephen Harper says a majority of Canadians agree with his opposition to legalize marijuana, proving he's not behind the times on the way forward to pot. A government opinion poll released 1 year ago found that more than 2/3 of Canadians wanted the federal government to ease the laws around possession and use of cannabis, with about 14% saying the law should stay the same. Anyways, we have another one, and I always keep this shit in anyways, but this is an article from back in August of 2013 even. So even fucking 2 years ago. Even 2 years ago. Majority of Canadians want to loosen marijuana laws. Polls. Anyways, it goes on to say, I believe it ended up being, 57 fucking percent or whatever of the Canadian population agreed that there should be, whether it's legalized or decriminalized or blah, blah, fucking whatever kind of fucking stupid ass fucking words or terms they want to use. Oh, the political language, the double speak, the fucking, it's just so destructive and so... No wonder people have no fucking grasp on reality because the words are thrown around and given quadruple meaning sometimes to fit whatever political narrative that represents the power to be at the time, right? But we all know. I mean, most people recognize marijuana or the consumption or selling of it is complete. It's all voluntary. It's not like someone forces someone to buy it, right? It's all voluntary, and we know that majorities of population, and even all presidents, prime ministers, premiers, we know that the majority of them have tried it themselves and would be, if they were treated the way that they propagate once they become politicians, well, they would have never become them because they'd all be sitting in fucking jail rotten because they smoked or sold a plant. A plant! That humans didn't create or invent, that just, it's part of nature. But anyways, so most people at least, I hope most of you at least recognize that legalization of marijuana, I mean, even if, that's the thing too, why would it matter if a majority or a minority of people agree? Does morality not matter? Does not objective reasoning, logic, or any of that stuff count? Scientific evidence, right? That doesn't matter. It should just be up to the mob rule. So if there's but we all know that even if you want to delegate that bullshit all the way down to mob rule, well, even when they use that as the narrative, they fucked up on their own aspect because the majority, the mob, and I don't agree with mob rules. So I'm not saying marijuana should be legalized because the majority wants it. I'm saying marijuana should be legalized because it's a victimless crime. There's no victim involved with someone smoking, consuming, or selling marijuana, growing or selling marijuana, or any fucking drug for that matter. As long as they're not forcing people to take it, consume it, or using force or coercion to grow it or to cultivate it, there's no victim, so there's no crime. In reality, there's no crime. So this is... But I'm just trying to work and function inside the bullshit narrative the politicians and central planners, the control freaks, try to fucking propagate to you people. And even in that little narrow fucking frame, I can still point out the contradictions and bullshit in the narratives they're putting forth. So even in their own propaganda, their own propaganda fucking sucks. Stop listening to their fucking bullshit. It's not about mob rule, majority rule. It's about what's right, what's ethical, what's logical, what's universally acceptable and consistent. Right? That's what matters. Fuck mob rule, which is democracy, government, central planning, blah, blah. And in reality, only if it suits their purpose, only if it suits their fancy will they propagate that bullshit. Otherwise, they'll say that, well, we're supposed to. I mean, their message is always to propagate central planning. Whether it's the minority, the majority, or somewhere in between, it's always going to fit their narrative. Because they want to control every aspect of every human's life. That's what they do. They're control freaks. Should marijuana be legal? Of course. Of course it should be. Do I need central planners, control freaks, or sociopath to tell me that that should be the case? Or media pundits? More psychopaths, sociopaths? No. Don't need any of those fucks to tell me that. I know that already. It's Canadian Libertarian. And I actually love liberty.